Hello. It's been a while again. I am quite aware. Hold on. Just give me a second. I'm doing something. Okay. Okay. This is my Europe, North Africa, and Arabia 1337 map. Um, I've already filmed this before. It's just I'm trying to remember how I started this. I know it's been a year. Not yet. It's been 8 months. But life got crazy. Started high school, and high school sucked. Quite frankly, big fat balls. I just really haven't had time to do anything. But now, with Thanksgiving break, which is why I started working on this again, I'm getting back into Iran, and and with winter break coming up, it's definitely a lot of time, and I hope I can get it finished by like February. I don't know. Yeah, I finished the map. The map is completely done. That that's not a thing. Anyways, um, I made a lot of progress. I mean, for 8 months, probably not a lot of progress, but like for the amount of time I've been working, I've made a lot of progress. I've been using a spreadsheet to see how much I'm doing, and it helps a lot. I've so my plan is I want to give every country a modifier. It might not all be unique modifiers, but it. I want to give them all modifiers and the formables too, or most of the formables. But yeah. But yeah. Um, right now let's see. I think I've given almost every nation besides Circasa. Um, Circasa. The Kingdom of Cle- Clemson. I know I said that wrong. Don't take my neck. Sounds weird. Um, didn't get one from Moravia or the Marinids, or for Moldavia, and I believe I haven't gotten around to Wallachia. Alright, yeah, no Wallachia, no Florence either. Venice, no. The Mamluks, yet. And yeah, that's about it. So, um, not every nation has a unique modifier, because quite frankly, this is already enough, and that's not all the this is nowhere close to the amount of modifiers I want to add. But what I've done is I have made modifiers for regions. So obviously Russia here, it's like very fragmented regions like Anatolia, Persia, uh, Arabia, because there's not really a point to give all three of these countries their own unique modifiers, and plus since they're in the same region, they probably won't even have that much of a difference besides small details that you can't even add with modifiers. So just gonna skip these. But I've gotten Germany, Ireland, Italy, Russia, Anatolia. Yeah, I've gotten those regional modifiers done. Let's see. Viva Patri. This is the Italian regional modifier. I believe. Yeah, yeah, that is. I have Ireland, home of the Celts. This is a small modifier. I completely forgot what the German one is, so I'll have to look at this one. March of the Germans. The Might of Anatolia. Strength of the Rus's people. And I believe that is about it. Yeah. That is all the regional modifiers. I have to do Persia and Arabia, which is just, again, these two countries. And then Persia is the Muzaffarids, the Inyus, Hormuz, the Bavans, Eshkavans. Am I giving the Chobanids the... Okay, yeah, I am. The Vans, the I'm giving Sarbedaran? I don't know. I believe I'm giving the Hazareps as the Persian modifier. Yeah, okay, I am. I have the Gelarids. Gelarids have their own modifier, so do the Bassis. The Sutaids have the Anatolian modifier. Any nation that has the Anatolian, like the Kingdom of Anatolia formable, they have the Anatolian modifier. Besides the Ottomans, obviously, because I gave them their own modifier. No, it's the add-on. It's reforming the Sultanate. Yeah, strength of the Ottomanids. Blah blah blah. Modifiers. This is really boring. I know I'm boring you all. What you want to see is formables. What you can do. A lot of this is the same. I think I've added a few, but there's a few that I think is really cool if I can find them. Yeah, okay. So you'll see that there is the Kingdom of Denmark, the Kingdom of England, Kingdom of France. There's two Kingdom of Italy's. Gonna get to that. Kingdom of Russia. I don't know if I explained that before, but there is and Kingdom of Sweden and Kingdom of Scotland. Kingdom of the Netherlands. At the bottom here is the Republic of the Netherlands. So, yeah. Little explanation to why Scotland, England, France, Denmark, and Sweden just have their own countries with a different flag. Explanation is, excuse me, the biggest being modifiers. So for Denmark is actually very unique because they start with two modifiers, and it is because of their political crisis at the time, which was the Danish interregnum. You will have both of these modifiers. Actually, no, you'll have the interregnum for about 12 years, and then the economic depression for 14 years. Now, you can get rid of this by forming the Kingdom of Denmark. One unique thing, form the Kalmar Union. Now, Kalmar Union isn't going to be a big, massive union of Scandinavia like you would expect. What I want it to be is whoever's playing Norway, Sweden, or Denmark, or if it's just Denmark and Norway, or Denmark and Sweden, Sweden and Norway. Either, like the two leading nations, the player nations of Scandinavia, they can all choose whether to form the Kalmar Union. Now, the Kalmar Union is just going to be a faction. It's a diplomatic action to form a faction between Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. No one else. It's just them, and they're gonna be rolling. So we can do this. Form a union of Scandinavia. Form the Kalmar Union. Okay, that's just the thing it says to the player. But if I was any other nation, like I can go Sweden, form the Kalmar Union, confirm. It'll say to everyone, Sweden shows desire to unite Scandinavian Union. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. I have to fix that. That obviously is bad English. Was speeding through this because I had to go somewhere. But I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. And obviously, if it's just me and a Sweden player, then we can form a faction where it's just between of us, just the two of us. I'll give them money for the faction, to whoever started it, and obviously if they don't do it, I'll probably kick them from the game because I'm giving this money to you to form the faction. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this for more nations. I probably won't. I think it's very interesting to just have it as these three countries here. But yeah. Let's see. Ignore the motorcycle if you guys pick that up. Sweden, England, Scotland, and France are same but not the same stories. If it'll load. Okay. We'll just do England. Kingdom of England. Now, strengthen our kingdom. Nationalism. This just forces you to go down a political path, and consolidate your nation. So, in order to form, well, I guess get the modifier, you need all of England, I believe. You need all of this, and then you need Aquitaine to form the Kingdom of England. And it gives the Parliamental Kingdom political power gain plus 50%, base research plus 7, base ability plus 5, infantry attack, and ground defense plus 13 plus 10, respectively. England star firepower of England, naval recruitment time minus 5. They can obviously, you can form the United Kingdom. Wales, I believe, can also form them, and obviously Scotland can too. And the whole reason why I'm adding modifiers on top of modifiers to buff them is when the end game reaches and it's just the few major powers left, it's going to be very interesting to see how they stand. And that's why I gave region modifiers instead of just giving all these small German states no modifier. Because say you were playing as Nassau-Usingen. I formed the Kingdom of Germany. I get the Kingdom of Germany modifier, which I actually haven't added yet. I'm gonna do that soon. But say I have that, right? I'll have that. Good, great. Issue is, say I'm about to go to war with France. France has their build-up modifiers, and then it's just kind of unbalanced. So obviously it's best to just give everything a modifier if it's not unique to the nation. It's better to just give one than none, because then it'd be kind of unfair and it'd be a really pain in the ass. What else is here? Um, and obviously, that's why I have like Kingdom of Saxony. I'll give these guys formables. Kingdom of Piedmont, give those the formables. Kingdom of Piedmont is actually how you form the Kingdom of Italy. Now, you might be saying, but why pick this one over that one? It's the same thing with how the Teutonic Order and Brandenburg, they could form Prussia and then the German Empire. But what's the point? It's just to make sure that the two different play styles of people that could play these countries. So the Kingdom of Germany will be more political, more diplomatic, while the German Empire will be more attack heavy. They'll be stronger militarily wise. So if you like playing more diplomatically, or you want to play more diplomatically, then you go for the Kingdom of Germany. I think I've explained this before. So that's what I want to do. Now, I'm not too sure which is which, but I do think I will make the like this one, the more attack heavy one, our Final Peninsula, and then this one, the more diplomatic one. Now, this can only be formed by Savoy, which can form Piedmont, and yeah. The Mongol Empire. Yeah, you can form the Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire can be formed. It can, yeah. So, if it'll, thank you. The Golden Horde. Yeah, the Golden Horde, only nation that can form the Mongol Empire. Now, it's got 3 missions that helps you build up to the Mongol Empire. Move west, reinstate our control westward, invade the west, just Romania, Bulgaria, and a lot of Ukraine. Move south, retake the Ilkhanate, it's just all of Persia and Anatolia. And then invade the Rus states. And then finally, the Mongol Empire. I do believe that the Roman Empire is bigger, like city-wise. I think the Mongol Empire is definitely bigger, because it's literally just this half of the map, and then Rome is only like this. But yeah, this is the Mongol Empire. I didn't get to make a modifier, but yeah. It's very big. Not too sure. You see this. Now, I'm having an issue with balancing the Golden Horde compared to all its neighbors, because obviously, it is a very big nation. You could just spam out all this manpower and then obliterate everything. So, what I plan to... I already have their modifier, but you can let me know if you agree with this, but they already have a lot of debuffs. But I think what I plan on doing is giving them a lowered manpower debuff, and also a military debuff. So like the military start with less experience and is just overall weaker. So you'll really have to spam out to beat, but Moscow is a good counter to that. Or I guess the Russian, actually, I'm not too sure. I can't quite remember, but I do believe I'll make the Golden Horde troops weaker than the more Western Russian units. So I'm getting a lot of my ideas from Universalis Remastered, where there's going to be like the more eastern nations like this, they'll be more secular, meaning like they'll be weaker. They'll be weaker. The military will be weaker, but I'll give them some other buff, some other way. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna nerf the Golden Horde, so these small Russian states can stand a chance. Mm. Also, I'm so glad that they made it so you can rename cities now. So, um, Novgorod is obviously where St. Petersburg is. It's not there anymore. I just turned it into where the Neva River exits. And Finland, completely different names now. I mean, there might be like one or I think there's one that's basically the same. But yeah, there's Bjorneborg, Abel, Helsingfors, Borgo, Wilmenstrand, Sviatogorsk, Viborg, Nyslott, Vasa, Karlby, Kiemi, Rovaniemi. I think this is the same. But yeah. What else? The Pope is very interesting as well. Oh, I tabbed out. Oh boy. No, I want back into the game. Thank you. No, one thing I do want to talk about before I get to the Pope is Hungary. I don't really want to add Austria-Hungary to the game. So what I think I might do is I'll make it so you have to reach certain milestones as Hungary to get these modifiers. So it'll just be a few missions. I believe a Magyar nation. I believe this is nation for the Hungarians. That's what this means. But yeah, this is the Hungarian modifier. And what I plan on doing is I'll make it so you form missions as you reach political milestones, like stability wise, and like the political wise, so like maybe to get one modifier you'll have to get you have to be a constitutional monarchy. I might, however, add a Republic of Hungary modifier. I do believe that'll be very interesting. Because it'll force you to go down a more left leaning political point than nationalism or monarchism, which is essentially what the entire world is besides Venice and I believe a few other nations. I can't quite remember, but yeah. So yeah, that's my plan for Hungary. Let me know if it's trash. I really don't want to do Austria-Hungary because it doesn't really make sense for me that only Hungary can form Austria-Hungary. And then I don't want to have the decision between Austria and Austria-Hungary for Austria because it's just the same modifier. It doesn't really make sense to add two when you really only need one. Choice. Like if someone obviously likes Austria-Hungary more than Austria, they can choose it. But I don't really see a point. State of the Church, aka the Pope or the Papal States. Now this modifier, it's very interesting to me. Basically, you can play the Pope two ways. Both not really that good, but it's interesting. Basically, you can play the Pope the suggested way, not really get into wars. If you do, call upon a crusade or two, invade the Mamluks, go after Anatolia, whatever. But it will cost you a lot of stability. This is, yeah. I will add the diplomatic actions for the Pope, so sort of like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden with the Kalmar Union. How long have I been filming? 24 minutes. Wow, I've been rambling for a while. But yeah, or you can play the Pope more aggressively. You can, not suggested. But yeah, I will add diplomatic actions. I may make it so you can call on like 2 crusades. I got this idea from this very big Ron YouTuber Amandus when he made a map similar to this, where the Pope, you call upon a crusade. What I'll do is I'll make it similar to the Cameroon, where the Pope forms a faction, and then whoever wants to go on crusade with whatever nation the with whatever the call on crusade, whatever nation the the Pope, says. So I'm not sure how I'll do this. If I'll make it so it's like they'll say in the chat, like, oh, I want to call a crusade on the Mamluks. I want to call a crusade on the Hafsids or Clemson, or the Marinids or Granada, or the Jalaiirids, God, or I want to call a crusade on all of Anatolia. It's whatever they choose, or I'll restrict it to just like the Mamluks or North Africa. And if the Ottomans do rise, which I expect them to, if they do rise, then obviously I'll probably add one to call a crusade on the Ottomans. I do really wish that they would add some more unique stuff for the thing, so I wouldn't have to do this whole give money to form faction. I think it'd be really cool if anyone on a Ryan dev team ever sees this. I seriously doubt it, but I think it'd be really cool for some more like unique things to add for formables. Because obviously there's modifiers and stuff like that, but there's not really that much. There's requirements, but there's really only modifiers. So I really do think it'd be very interesting to have diplomatic actions like this, because it's the country tab, it's the country view, your decisions. There's really only formables here, and it'd be very interesting to see actions and decisions besides just forming a country or forming a formable or a mission. I do think it'd be very interesting. So like you have to reach a certain stability and money, and then you can start a faction, like a crusade, obviously. And like it gets you justification on that nation you want to declare crusade on. It's little stuff like that which I think would make creating scenarios and Ron so much better. So anyone has any connection to a Ron developer, send them this video towards just listen to me rant on like a madman, because it's such a cool idea. That's how people have been using the formables to do stuff like that. It's just very janky, and I think it'd be so interesting and cool what people do with like an official feature like that. Obviously, they'll add stuff like that to the main game, like a public servers. But yeah. Anyways, I've been rambling too long about that. But yeah. What else? Is there anything else I want to talk about? I did modifiers, formables, decisions. There's like regional formables as well, like Hainaut in Flanders. They can form Belgium, Burgundy, Lorraine, Metz, Strasbourg, Nevers. Like any nation that's in like the modern borders of France, they can form the Empire Francois, which is just France, and it gives them, I believe, the France modifier. Let me see. Okay, it gives you a bunch of modifiers for forming the Empire Francois. It gives you the Capetian Crown of France add-on indefinitely. Now this is very strong. There's already the France modifier. This is very strong because these nations probably will never ever be able to form these. Now province, they have the French Republic. We create La République. Um, Basically they formed the French Republic. Um, I don't know if I will add Napoleon's Empire. Probably not, because it. Let's be honest, these games won't be going on that long. But I do think I will add some stuff that you can loosely recreate the first French Empire. Well, I don't know, the French Napoleonic Empire, as the French Republic. So obviously, you could take over the like this area, the Rhine, Spain, Italy, Illyria, and Dalmatia. But yeah, I think that's about it. Um, I've gotten a bunch of modifiers done, and I'm so happy about it. Almost every nation has their modifier. Some formables have their modifiers, like obviously here, the German Empire, Unterplatz Andersone. Sound Italian. I believe that's for the Empire Caramanids, obviously the Parliamentary Kingdom. Sweden add-on, the Anglo-French Empire, spared by Gutsgrace, Rule Britannia. We build, that's just the base Georgia modifier. Poland is not yet lost. I'm just so happy that I've been able to do all this and get all this done in the past week or two. I've spent almost a year working on this. I started this in about March. I used to have a really old one. It was just really crappy. The Holy Roman Empire was one big nation. It's just a bunch of random states. Poland was really weird. Russia, I couldn't find a proper image of Russia, so I just made Muscovy the entirety of Russia. Obviously, phone bills went around then. I can't even remember what I did for Anatolia. I even think I did Anatolia. Byzantines. It was just a really crap map, and I looked at it and I saw all the new features that Ron was adding, where you can make your own scenarios. I'm like, you know what? I think it'd be really cool if I do this, and I did it, and I'm really happy where it's at now, and and I hope I get it done, and I'm very excited to see where it all ends. And I think even if it is a little crap in the end, I'll still be really happy. I spent so much time on this. It's like my baby. It's my child. I've nurtured this thing through hell, neglected it for 6 months. Did all the proper parental things. But anyways, you watched this whole 35-minute rant. Thank you. You're a real one. You're a G. But thank you for watching. If you've been waiting this whole time to see what the hell I've done, I'm sorry. It's not a lot. It in the hindsight, it really isn't a lot, because there's still so many modifiers and formables and formable modifiers I have to do. But hoping for God's grace, it gets done by February 2026. But yeah, thank you for watching, and bye bye.